Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Kabu, and today we're bringing you a brand new challenge video. In our last video, we tried to take on the Galar region with only a Galarian Zigzagoon, and if you guys want to see how that turned out, I'm going to leave a link down in the description for you guys so you can go check that out on your own time. Now, in today's video, we're going to be finding out if we can beat Pokemon Sword and Shield with only the 3 Kanto starters. Now, before we move into the rules and the actual gameplay, I just want to remind you guys, if you guys do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. It does help out the channel a lot, and it is free. Now, let's quickly go over the rules. The first rule of this challenge is that we will not be able to use any items in battle whatsoever. This includes potions, held items, yada yada, X items, whatever you'd like to imagine. Next rule is that we will not be allowed to use any TMs. Since we are using 3 Mons to take on the Galar region, I figured that using TMs felt like little bit cheap, and I wanted to give us a little bit of a harder stance, I guess, in this challenge. The third rule is that we were only allowed to be used the 3 starters. This being Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. We will not be allowed to evolve them whatsoever. We will only be allowed to use the base forms. The last and final rule is going to be no glitches. I don't really know how to use any glitches anyways, but I just figured I'd put that out there because there could be some, and I might, people never know. You might be able to look them up or yada, yada, yada. Now, before we get started, let's quickly go over the statistics and the moveset of each Pokemon as a whole. As it looks right now, starting with Bulbasaur, his stats are actually pretty well rounded, with him leaning more towards the special attack and special defense side. He does have the most base stat total out of all the starters combined at 318. Next, we have Charmander. His HP does look a little low in comparison to the other two, and he does lack in defense where the other two make up, but his attack, special attack, and speed are all very exceptional, which I think will allow us to do a lot during this run. Last but not least, we have Squirtle, who his stats are kind of a little more well-rounded, with his special attack kind of leaning on the higher side for him, as well as his defense and special defense. I think he'll really allow us to be super bulky throughout most of this run. Taking a quick look at all of their movesets, I think this is actually going to cause us the biggest problem. None of them in Generation 8 actually learned a good pool of moves aside from what they learned in TMs and TRs, and I genuinely think that this will cause us a problem throughout most of the run, as we won't be able to seriously take any Mons out super easily without being at a level above what we usually should be. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into the run. I really hope you guys do enjoy. Remember, if you do, be sure to go hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and enjoy. Our run begins right outside of beating Hop and us hatching the 3 eggs given to us by our boy Karai Nation. If you guys haven't checked him out, be sure to do so. He just dropped a run recently. I'll leave his link down in the description. You guys should definitely go check it out. But we hatch all the 3 eggs given to us by him, and then after that we move towards the wild area where Sonia meets with us, and we train for just a little bit before moving into Motostoke. After training in the wild area, we head into Motostoke, where we meet up with Sonia, go to the Butted Inn to take on a group of goons, and then get entered right into the gym challenge. After getting entered into the gym challenge, we head towards Route 3, where we run into our rival Hop and have our 3rd rival battle. We start out by taking Hop's Wooloo down with just 1 Petal Dance, then we take out his Rookidee with 2 Fire Fangs, and then his Grookey with the same 2 Fire Fangs, getting us our 3rd win against Hop. After defeating Hop, we head through Route 3, including the first Galar Cave, where we take on our new rival Bead. When taking on Bead, we focused on using our Squirtle. Squirtle has the move Bite, which works to our advantage as Bead uses mainly Psychic types. He starts with Solosis, which we take down with 2 bites. He then sends out a Gothita, who we once again take out with 3 bites. And last but not least, he sends out a Hatina, which we manage to take out with 3 bites once again. After defeating Bead, we make our way through Route 4 and straight into Tuffield, the location of our first gym. My plan for Milo's gym is to pretty much only use Charmander's Fire Fang, as it is super effective against most of his gym trainers and against him himself. And after making it through the gym challenge, we finally get to test this. When facing off against Milo, we used only our Charmander, and when against his Pokemon Gossifleur, we knocked it out with just 2 Fire Fangs. For Milo's second Pokemon, Eldegoss, we Dynamaxed our Charmander and used Max Flare twice in order to knock it out. And with that, we were pretty easily able to beat our first gym leader, Milo. After beating Milo, we head to Route 5, where we take on Team Yell and obtain the bike. After beating Team Yell, we head down the bridge towards Hillberry, where we run into our rival Hop once again. This time around, Hop's a little more challenging. We take out his Wooloo with just 2 Fire Fangs. Up next is Corvisquire, who we also take out with 2 Fire Fangs. At level 24, our Charmander tries to learn Flamethrower. We decided to teach it to him over Fire Fang. After beating Corvisquire, Hop sends out a Thwacky, so we stay in on our Charmander to take it out with one Flamethrower. But our Charmander fainted, so we sent in Squirtle and used Bite to finish off the job. After defeating Hop for the 4th time, we head straight into Hillberry to go find our Queen Nessa and head straight into the gym to take on the gym challenge. When heading into Nessa's gym, our initial strat is to just body everything in our path with our Bulbasaur and its Petal Dance. With Petal Dance being base 120 power, it does quite a bit to most mons that it's weak to, putting us at quite the advantage. Once we reached Nessa, we were able to take out our first 2 mons with only 1 Petal Dance, and then she brought out the Dreadnought, who she Dynamaxes and uses Mac Darkness. And since we were locked into Petal Dance, we didn't get the same opportunity. After losing our Bulbasaur, I decided to send out Squirtle since Dreadnought's part Rock, and Dynamax with Squirtle and use Max Geyser. After 2 Max Geysers, Dreadnought overpowers us and takes out our Squirtle as well. Once bringing out our Charmander, who faints to just 1 Razor Shell from our Dreadnought, we lose our first fight against Nessa. With this being the case, I go in the second time, deciding to try something new. Knowing that Nessa's first 2 mons fainted to 1 Petal Dance, I decided to gamble my luck and Dynamax in the first turn and use Max Overgrowth. With our first Max Overgrowth, we easily take out her Goldeen. Next should be Arrokuda, who should just as easily get knocked out by Max Overgrowth, which it does. Up next is the infamous Dreadnought. This time it comes at us with a Max Strike on its first turn. We're able to take it out with only 1 Max Overgrowth. The strategy the second time around, easily getting us to win against Nessa, the second gym leader. After beating Nessa, we head straight to meet with Chairman Rose, and then after meeting with Rose, we head straight into the second Galar Mine, where we run into our rival Bead. Since Bead is known for using Psychic type points at this point in the game, we once again lead with Squirtle, who knows Bite, truly relying on that to beat him our second time around. Bead leads with his Solosis, who gets taken down by our Squirtle with just 2 bites. After Solosis, he sends out in Gothita, who goes down to just 3 consecutive bites. After Gothita is Hatina, who goes down to just 2 bites. After Hatina is Galarian Ponyta, who after 2 confusions and 1 Fairy Wind is able to take out our Squirtle. And while he takes it out, we are able to bring the Ponyta down super weak health, so we send out our Charmander to finish off the Ponyta, this time using Slash to finish the battle. After beating Bead and heading deep into the Galar Mine, we run into Team Yell once again. With the help of Hob, we knock them out super easy. After that, we move further into the mine. We find Kabu, who tells us to head back to Motostoke in order to take him on at his gym. After talking to Kabu, we head back into Motostoke and go straight into the Budu Inn and take on our new rival, Marnie. Marnie starts with a Krogunk, who goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers from our Charmander. She then sends out Scraggy, who we match with Bulbasaur and take down with just 2 Petal Dances. She last sends out her ace, Moripeko, who we live in on Bulbasaur, and once again use Petal Dance, which takes out the Moripeko super easily. After beating Marnie, we head straight into Motostoke's gym in order to take on the gym challenge. My strategy for the entirety of this gym is just to power through with pretty much only Squirtle unless I need help down the line. Squirtle should be on par for most of the gym's Pokemon, which does in turn make this challenge just a bit harder. After beating Kabu's challenge, we head straight into the fight against leader Kabu. Kabu leads with the Ninetales, who with the help of our Squirtle we take out with just 2 Water Pulses and having it hit itself in confusion. When Kabu brings in his Arcanine, we decide to Dynamax in the first turn in order to get the most damage against it. I know using Dynamax here is important to minimize damage here because I know there is a good chance that we will take a lot of damage against his Centiskorch. After just 1 Max Geyser, Kabu brings out a Centiskorch, which he Gigantamaxes. He uses G-Max Flutterby, which does quite a bit of damage to our Squirtle. After just 1 Max Geyser against the G-Max Centiskorch, our Squirtle goes down. I decide to send out Bulbasaur in order to sack it off so I can get the Centiskorch out of its G-Max form. Once Bulbasaur goes down, I send out Charmander and use just 1 Slash. This doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so I decide to use Flamethrower, and after using that, we learn he has Flash Fire. So after that fail, I decide to use Dragon Bath twice, which is able to finish the job against Kabu, winning us our 3rd gym badge in the Galar region. After beating Kabu, we make our way out to the wild area and go to Hammerlock. After heading into Hammerlock, we talk to Chairman Rose and Bead about wishing stars, and then after talking to Chairman Rose and Bead, we make our way over to Raihan's gym to meet with Sonia, who informs us more of the tale of Galar. After speaking to Sonia, we make our way through Route 6, where we run into Team Yell once again. After beating Team Yell, we head through Route 6 towards Stoneonside, the site of our next gym challenge. After clearing Route 6 and making our way into Stoneonside, we face off with our rival Hop once again. This time around, Hop leads with Cramorant, while we lead with our Squirtle. Squirtle is able to get it in just 3 bites before Cramorant is able to take him out. After Squirtle, we come out with our Bulbasaur. We start by setting up against Cramorant, being able to take it out with just 1 Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, and Petal Dance in order to finish it off. After Cramorant, Hop sends out Silly Cobra, who goes down to just 1 Petal Dance. After Silly Cobra comes Thwacky, and for Thwacky we switch out to our Charmander in order to take advantage of typing. Thwacky goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers from our Charmander. After Thwacky, Hop sends out a Toxel, who goes down to just one Flamethrower from our Charmander, and with that, we have defeated Galarian Howl once again. After beating Hop, we make our way into the Stone-Side Gym. My plan for this gym is just to take the gym head-on with Squirtle and his move Bite, since Bite has the type advantage against Ghost types. Once we enter into the battle, after getting absolutely destroyed in our first fight against Alistair, I decided that it's best to train before facing him once again. When going to face Alistair once again, I lead with Bulbasaur to quickly take out the Yamask as it goes down to just one Petal Dance. After Mimikyu comes out, I swap into Squirtle to quickly pop the Disguise with one bite. Afterwards, I swap out to Bulbasaur in order to set up once again. After setting up Bleach Seed and a Sleep Powder and using 2 Petal Dances, we are able to take out the Mimikyu. After the Curse gets sent out, we continue to use Bulbasaur in order to get some more damage off on Corsola. It works pretty well, as we are able to knock out half of its health before sending out Charmander to finish it off with 2 Flamethrowers. After that, Gengar comes out, and our Charmander goes down to it very easily. After Charmander, we send out Squirtle and Dynamax in order to use Max Geyser, and after 2 Max Geysers, we were able to completely finish off Gengar, allowing us to get our 4th gym badge. After beating Stone-Side Spooky Gym, we head over to the Galar landmark, where we run into Sonia and Bead as Bead challenges us. Bead starts with his Duosion, as we lead with Squirtle. Bead's Duosion goes down swiftly just to 3 bites. After Duosion comes out Hatchrim, who once again goes down to just 3 bites from our Squirtle. After Hatchrim is Gothita, who after taking 2 bites, takes down our Squirtle with a Side Beam. After Squirtle goes down, we send out Bulbasaur, who takes out Gothita with just 1 Petal Dance. And last but not least is Bead's Ponyta, who we decide to leave in our Bulbasaur against, and after getting off just 1 Petal Dance, Ponyta takes out Bulbasaur very easily. Last but not least, we come out with our Charmander, who with just 1 slash is easily able to take out Bead's Ponyta and win us the match. After dealing with the incident with Bead and him losing his endorsement, we make our way through the Glimwood Tangle and onto Balolena, the site of our next gym challenge. After arriving in Balonlee, we head straight into the gym in order to take on the gym challenge. My plan for this gym is to try and power through with our Bulbasaur. I know some of the fairy types may also be part Psychic, which could pose a problem to our Bulbasaur. After beating Balonlee's gym challenge, we head straight into the gym fight versus Leader Opal. She leads into the battle with her Galarian Weezing, while I lead with our Bulbasaur. On the first turn, I fail to land a Sleep Powder, but on our next turn, I land a Leech Seed and give part way through my setup. After going for Leech Seed, I directly go for Petal Dance. After just 2 Petal Dances, her Weezing goes down. Up next is Togekiss, so I decide to swap to our Squirtle, and after just 4 Water Pulses, we were able to take down the Togekiss. Up next, Mawile. Since Mawile is part Steel, I go out to our Charmander to help deal with it. With the use of just 1 Flamethrower, it goes down. After Mawile is Alcremie, and since it bars no real fear in me, I decide to keep Charmander out in order to take it on. Dynamaxing in order to match its strength, after just 1 Max Strike and 2 Max Flares, we're able to take down the Alcremie, getting ourselves the 5th gym badge. After beating Opal, we make our way towards Sirchester, the location of our next gym, and in order to do that, we have Opal give us a lift back to Hammerlock. Once reaching Hammerlock, we find Bead about to go talk to Chairman Rose when Opal comes back and takes Bead under her wing. Once done with Bead and Opal, we head towards Route 7, where we run into our rival Hop once again. Hop leads in with his Trevenant, which goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers. Up next is Snorlax, who goes down to just 1 Leech Seed, 2 Sleep Powders, and 2 Petal Dances. After Snorlax is Heatmore, who goes up against our Squirtle, and after just 2 Water Pulses, Heatmore goes down. After Heatmore comes Rillaboom, who goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers from our Charmander, and last but not least is Boltund, who goes down to just 1 Petal Dance from our Bulbasaur, and with that, we beat Hop once again. After beating Hop, we continue to make our way through Route 7 and Route 8 and head straight towards Sirchester. After arriving at Sirchester, we head straight towards the gym in order to take on the gym challenge. After running through the gym challenge, we head into fight gym leader Melanie. My strategy, since this is a nice gym, is just power through the Charmander. When we start our battle with Melanie, she leads with Frostmoth, who goes down to just a single Flamethrower. After Frostmoth is Darmanitan. This time, Darmanitan goes down to 2 Flamethrowers. After Darmanitan is Ice-Cube, who just like Frostmoth, goes down to just 1 Flamethrower. Last but not least is her Lapras. Against Lapras, I decided to go with the strategy of stalling out her G-Max form, letting Charmander take the first turn of his G-Max form. After that, Squirtle. Once Squirtle gets off 1 Skull Bash, it goes down to just 1 Surf from Lapras. Last on our side is Bulbasaur. Once again, I Dynamax Bulbasaur to give us the best chance at taking Lapras out. After the use of just 2 G-Max Overgrowths, we were able to take down the Lapras, earning us our 6th gym badge during this run. After defeating Melanie, we head into a restaurant where we get to meet up with Sonia and Hop, as Sonia tells more about Galar's legend. Once talking to Sonia, we head to the Hero's Bath, where Hop challenges us to a battle. This time around, Hop leads with Double, who goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers from our Charmander. Up next is Pincurchin, who after just 2 Petal Dances from our Bulbasaur, goes down. After Pincurchin is Corviknight. I send out Charmander, who with 1 Flamethrower takes down Corviknight. Up next, Snorlax. Just like the previous match against Hop, I set up by using Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, and then going for Petal Dance. After just 2 Petal Dances, the Snorlax goes down. Following Snorlax is Rillaboom. Rillaboom goes down to our Charmander after just two Flamethrowers. Once beating Rillaboom, we have taken Hop down once again. After beating Hop, we make our way through Route 9 towards the location of our next gym badge. After making our way through Route 9 and trying to find our way into Spikemuth, Marnie helps us find a way in on the condition that we battle her. Marnie leads with Lapras, while we lead with Charmander. After 1 Dragon Breath and 2 Flamethrowers, we knock out the Lapras. After Lapras is Toxicroak, we leave in our Charmander against it. After a couple attempts of trying to attack it, I swapped into Bulbasaur to put it to sleep, and after putting it to sleep, swapped back out to Charmander to finish it off. After sending Charmander back out, Toxicroak goes down in just 2 Flamethrowers. After Toxicroak is Scrafty. After just 1 Flamethrower, I decide to swap out to Bulbasaur and use Petal Dance, which takes it out. After Scrafty is Morpeko, who eats up a Flamethrower from our Charmander before taking it out. After Charmander goes down, I send out Squirtle, who's able to finish off Morpeko with just 1 Water Pulse, getting us the win against Marnie and allowing us access to Spikemouth. After gaining interest into Spikemouth, we immediately go to take on the Gym Challenge, aka beating a bunch of Yelgoons. And before going in and facing off against Piers, I decided it was probably a good idea to train. After getting our mons level 61, 59, and 57 respectively, I decide to head straight into the fight against Piers. Piers leads with the Scrafty, as we lead with Bulbasaur. We decide to do our usual setup of Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, and then attacking with Petal Dance. After just 1 Petal Dance, Scrafty goes down. Up next is Malamar. I swap out the Charmander to face Malamar. After just 2 Flamethrowers, Malamar goes down. After Malamar is Obstagoon. I decide to stay in with Charmander to get the most damage off. After getting 2 Flamethrowers off, our Charmander goes down, and with just 1 Water Pulse from our Squirtle, Obstagoon goes down. Up last is Skuntank. I decide to leave Squirtle in against it to get as much damage off as possible. With just using Squirtle, we were able to take out Pierce's Skuntank with just 3 Water Pulses, getting us our win and our 7th badge. After leaving Spikemouth, we run into Leon, who tells us the location of our next gym fight is going to be in Hammerlock against Raihan. After talking to Leon, we head back to Hammerlock. After reaching Hammerlock, we head straight towards our gym challenge. Raihan's gym challenge most certainly varies from others, as he runs through us with a series of double battles. Throughout us taking on the double battles, I think of my best chance against Raihan. I know he has a series of ground types, with his ace being Durlodon, so I'm thinking of starting with Bulbasaur and Squirtle in order to allow myself to knock out a lot of his setups. After defeating his gym challenge, we head to the stadium to face Raihan. Just like his challenge, Raihan's fight is a double battle. Raihan leads with Diglett and Flygon, while we lead with Bulbasaur and Squirtle. I decided to set a Bleach Sheet on Flygon and go for a Water Pulse on Diglett. After seeing how much Flygon did with Thunder Punch, I decided to knock out Flygon with a Petal Dance and a Water Pulse. This locks us in on Bulbasaur, not allowing us a lot of options. Fortunately, Bulbasaur is able to knock out Diglett with just 1 Petal Dance, while our Squirtle takes out Sandaconda with just 1 Water Pulse. Last but not least is Raihan's Durlodon. I decided to go for Max Flare against his Durlodon with Charmander, as it is our best option, and very fortunately, we were able to take down Raihan's ace with just 2 Max Flares, getting us the win against Raihan and allowing us to obtain our 8th badge. After defeating Raihan, we exit the stadium where we meet with Sonia and Magnolia. After talking to Sonia and Magnolia, we head to Hammerlock's train station, where Raihan sees myself and Hop as we head to Winden, the place of the championship tournament. After arriving at Winden, we head straight to Winden Stadium in order to check in for our matches. Once checked in, we head on to Winden Stadium, the location of the semifinals, at our first step at becoming champion. In our first match, we faced off against Marnie. She leads with her Life Guard as we lead with Charmander. After 2 Flamethrowers, we take down her Life Guard. Up next is Scrafty. I decided to stick with Charmander here, once again, going for Flamethrower. After just 3 Flamethrowers, Scrafty is down. After Scrafty is Toxicroak. Once again, I leave Charmander in and relentlessly go for Flamethrower, taking down Toxicroak with only 2. After Toxicroak is Morpeko, and for Morpeko, I swap out to Bulbasaur and use Petal Dance, taking down the Morpeko in 1 hit. Last but not least is Marnie's newest addition, Grimmsnarl. I decided to stay out against it with Bulbasaur and continue my barrage of Petal Dances. Although after just 2 G-Max snoozes, Grimmsnarl was able to take out Bulbasaur, I decided to finish off Grimmsnarl with just 1 Max Geyser from our Squirtle, giving us our first tournament win against Marnie. For our second match, we faced off against our rival Hop in the finals. As usual, Hop leads with his double as we lead with our Charmander. Double goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers from our Charmander this time around. Up next is Hop Snorlax. As usual, we go with our normal setup of Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, and Petal Dance. This time around though, we were able to take down Snorlax with only 2 Petal Dances after the setup. After Snorlax comes Corviknight. Just like last time, we got to our Charmander and used Flamethrower. This time around, taking it down after 3 Flamethrowers. After Corviknight is Pincurchin. For Pincurchin, we swap back out to Bulbasaur and go for Petal Dance, taking out with just 2 turns of the move. The last to come out is Hop's Rillaboom. I swap back at the Charmander to knock it out. After both of us die maxing, Hop's Rillaboom goes down to just 2 Max Flares, getting us the win against Hop once again. After defeating Hop, we head back to our hotel to grab some grub. After doing so, we wander around for a bit, wondering where Leon is. Piers comes in to let us know that he is at Rose Tower meeting with the chairman. After finding this out, we make our way there to find out why he is there. After arriving at Rose Tower, we head into the elevator where we find that we have to take on many grunts that Rose sends at us. After reaching the top of the tower, we find ourselves in a face-off against Oleana. Oleana leads off with her Frostlass, while we lead with our Charmander. Thankfully, Frostlass goes down to just one flamethrower from our Charmander. After Frostlass is Milotic, and we swap out to Bulbasaur for this matchup, and after just 2 Petal Dances we take down Oleana's Milotic. After Milotic is Salazzle, and for Salazzle we swap out to Squirtle for type advantage, and after just 2 Water Pulses Salazzle goes down. Up next is Serena. Once again, I head back out to Charmander. I Dynamax on this turn in order to set up the drought that Max Flare determines. Serena goes down to just 1 Max Flare. Last but not least is Oleana's G-Max Garbodor. After just 2 Max Flares, our Charmander goes down. In order to finish off Garbodor, I send out Bulbasaur and use Petal Dance, giving us the win against Oleana. After beating Oleana, we run over to find Rose and Leon in conversation. After interrupting their conversation, we head back to the hotel to rest. The next evening, we head back to the stadium to start the finals of the championship tournament. Our first match of the finals is against Gym Leader Bead. Bead leads with the Mawile, while we lead with our Charmander, giving us a type advantage. Mawile goes down to just 1 flamethrower. Up next is Gardevoir. For this, I swap out to Bulbasaur and set up by using Sleep Powder and then use Petal Dance. And after just 2 Petal Dances, our Bulbasaur goes down. To finish off Gardevoir, I bring out Charmander, and Gardevoir goes down to just 1 flamethrower. Up next is Rapidash. I leave Charmander in and go for 2 flamethrowers. And after those 2 flamethrowers, Rapidash goes down. Last but not least is Bead's Hatterene. I leave Charmander in to burn one of those G-Max turns and get 1 flamethrower off, giving us just a bit of damage. To attempt to finish off Hatterene, I send out Squirtle and Dynamax while using Max Darkness. After 2 Max Darknesses and 1 Max Geyser, we're able to take down Hatterene, getting us the win against Bead. Our second match of the finals is Gym Leader Nessa, the master of water types. Unfortunately, a large chunk of our winning footage against Nessa got corrupted, but to prove I beat her, here is us taking down her ace, Dreadnought. Once defeating Nessa, we move to taking on our lovely friend Alistair. In our first battle against Alistair, we got defeated pretty handily. Before going back to fight Alistair again, I teach our Squirtle Hydro Pump over Skull Bash in order to give us a bit more firepower. I also decided to buy things such as Carbos and Calcium in order to boost our stats a bit. In our second bout against Alistair, he still leads with Dusknoir. This time, Dusknoir goes down very easily to just 3 Petal Dances. Up next is Chandelure. This time around, it goes down to just 1 Hydro Pump. Up next, Poltergeist, who goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers. Up next, Cursula, who goes down to just 4 Petal Dances from Bulbasaur. Last but not least, Gengar. I decided to try to install out his G-Max turns, as this is ideally my best strat. Once Gengar goes down, we send out Squirtle. While wasting G-Max turns, I try and get as much damage off as possible so I can go for 1 Hydro Pump before letting it go down. Last but not least, I send out our Charmander and Dynamax to buffer as much damage as possible, taking it down with just 1 Max Flare, getting us our second win in the finals and against Alistair. Our last challenge of the finals is going to be against Raihan. Unlike last time, Raihan leads with Torkoal, who after setting up against him goes down to just 2 Petal Dances. Up next is Turtonator, who goes down to just 2 Dragon Breaths from our Charmander. After Turtonator is Flygon, and after hitting it with just 2 Hydro Pumps, Flygon gets taken down. Up next is Goodra. I use Bulbasaur to Poison Powder and give us a better chance against it by stalling out for a bit. After Bulbasaur faints, I swap out a Charmander in order to Dynamax and finish off Goodra with a Max Wormwind. Last but not least is Raihan's Durlodon, and after just 2 Max Flares from our Charmander, Raihan's Durlodon goes down, getting us the win against Raihan once again. After defeating Raihan, we head out onto the pitch in order to enter our final battle against Leon, when we find out that Chairman Rose had started something that even he can't control, the Darkest Day. After obtaining the Rusted Shield from the Slumbering Weld, we head straight to Hammerlock Stadium in order to take on Rose. When we go to fight Rose, he leads with the Scavalier. We lead with our Charmander, who takes down a Scavalier with just 1 Flamethrower. Up next is Klinklang, who goes down to just 1 Flamethrower. After Klinklang comes Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn also goes down to just 1 Flamethrower. Next is Berserker. I decided to Dynamax early because I know that his ace will Gigantamax, so I want to set up Sunny Day for Charmander, and by doing this, I use Max Flare to take down his Berserker. Last but not least is his Copperjaw, who after just 2 Max Flares, goes down, getting us a super easy win against Chairman Rose. After defeating Rose, we head to the top of Hammerlock Stadium in order to take down Eternatus. After accepting the help of Zamazenta and Zacian, we take down Eternatus and head back to Winden Stadium in order to face Leon. But before truly going to face him, we decided to train to level 85 to give us our best chance against Leon. After reaching Winden once again, our fight against Leon begins. Leon leads with an Aegislash, who goes down to just 2 Flamethrowers. Up next is Haxorus, who goes down to just 2 Dragon Breaths. After Haxorus comes Inteleon, who goes down to just 1 Petal Dance. After Inteleon comes Dragonbolt. Since I know it'll go for Thunderbolt and I'll live, I decide to Shell Smash this turn and then Dynamax my next turn in order to max out my speed and attack damage. With just 1 Max Darkness, the Dragapult goes down. Up next is Mr. Rhyme, who goes down to just 1 Max Geyser, allowing us to set up the rain, giving us quite the advantage against the Charizard. With that being said, we were able to knock out the Charizard with just 1 Max Geyser, getting us the win against Leon and allowing us to become the champion of the Galar region. So to answer the question asked by this video, yes, you are able to beat Pokemon Shield with only the 3 Kanto starters. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did go on to enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what challenge you guys want to see next. I do have a couple ideas, but I want your guys' opinions. Let me know if you want me to poll them on our community tab or on Twitter. I really do appreciate you guys watching this all the way through. If you did, be sure to comment Kanto down in the comments. Let me know who watched it all the way through. I really do. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys a ton. Thank you so much for watching this video. I put a lot of hard work and effort in this video. I just finished. This is my 3rd day of editing. I just finished up. Hopefully this gets up on time. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one.